I mean, we got the Shakedown, so we're going to keep this. Double Shakedown Heavy is a lot of potential card draw for us. Oh, we got the Fight Rigging. I think if we can... Please tap out. Please tap out. No? Alright. We go Shakedown Heavy. We do this one first, because if they have Jawar's Disruption, I'd actually be able to get the Heavy to be Counterspell, because I want the Fight Rigging more. Alright. Attempt Fight Rigging. No Counterspell. No Counterspell indeed. Alright. We hit a Tarrasque off this. I'm pretty sure the opponent's just going to scoop up. Nothing in red-blue deals with a Tarrasque this early. Not many colors can deal with a Tarrasque this early. Unfortunately, we don't get that lucky. But a Battle Mammoth is still a very good pickup. We'll bring it down to the board. This is going to force the opponent to have a, what am I blinking on? Burn down the house. Now, the opponent is a Arcane Bombardment deck, so they are probably running 4 copies of it in their deck. Alright, do you have Burn Down? If not, alright, they have Burn Down. I probably shouldn't have played the Battle Mammoth off the thing and just went with the idea of one more turn, potentially, to build up Shakedown. Alright, there's Bombardment. But we have this. Alright, Punt, would you like to give us another card? If not, that's a lot of damage coming in. I mean, it's great that we have another Fight Rigging in hand, because that means we can try to spin it again for another Tarrasque. Unfortunately, we did draw one in the open, but I thought it was worthwhile to risk the keep. Second Bombardment. Opponent doesn't have anything on the board creature-wise for me to use this to get rid of that. Alright. Another land. Play Fight Rigging. Go... Turntimber. Counters. Ziatora. Attack. So, even if the opponent untaps makes us draw, I'm going to sacrifice it to do 10 damage to the opponent. And... so they have to give us the untapped draw. If they don't, they're dead. And the great thing is, I'm going to be able to say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We end turn, sacrifice, 10 to the face, pass it to the opponent. We can hard cast Tarrasque from our hand at this point, attack in, and have lethal. Now, the only way that we don't win is they hit Burn Down the House, and they get all the little devil tokens. Because then they'll have 3 potential blockers, and Tarrasque will get blocked by those all day. But if they don't get rid of the Incinerator in the same turn, we can always still sacrifice the Tarrasque to throw the damage at their face. Alright, Iteration. Unfortunately, they hit Magma Opus. So that means next turn, when we move to combat, they can tap us down on our attackers. Now, the thing is, they can only tap down the thing that will block Tarrasque. They won't be able to tap down the other card. Like, they won't be able to tap down Tarrasque, is what I'm trying to say. They can tap down Ziatora. But They have to get Ziatora off the board. If they don't, again, we will just sacrifice Tarrasque, throw 10 at their face. Alright. We go for this. It will not be able to destroy Bombardment because we're not doing enough excess damage. But we get that off the board, meaning that when they do this again... Let's see, so it made it to our main phase. So, they should have put a pause on our upkeep, potentially. And in response to the tap down, we just get the mana. Oh, they hit burn down too? Are you kidding me? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Ziatora here should finish it, because if they go for the sweep, Tarrasque is going to come in and kill himself. I'd like to tap. I'd like to tap. Alright. So, burn down. Okay. Yes, we got it. An opponent doesn't realize I'm giving the GGs because of this. Welcome to the 12-12 haste creature you cannot interact with. Now, the Arcane Bombardment did exactly what it wanted to do and got really lucky on its hits. But we've managed to mana rush out a Tarrasque. We actually played it fairly because of all the extra mana we were able to produce thanks to using things like Binding of the Old Gods. Alright, these are all black-red sources, but we have Fable. We'll keep. It is one of those problems whenever you're playing a 3-color deck, is when you run into mana fixing problems. That's why I love these 3-colored lands so much. Yeah, they have to come into play tapped, but you get 3 colors out of it. Alright, we're against enchantment runes. We found the fight rigging, we just need to get the green source for it. So I think we'll go Mirror Breaker. Or maybe not. Go heavy. This way, if the opponent still uses an enchantment to remove heavy, we can use Binding of the Old Gods to get it back. Alright, Naturalist for the opponent. A Rune of Might. Alright, let's try to spin it for the win. Fight rigging. Tarrasque? No. I think we just grab Binding here. Because Binding will at least get us more land out of the deck. We'll also get a reshuffle. Oh, another fight rigging. We can try to spin it again next turn. Alright, Visitor for the opponent. Another Naturalist. The opponent was off to a slow start, but they are getting their important cards here. I wonder why they didn't put any of these on the board earlier, because I doubt that they just drew them all right now. I think we'll go ahead and play for the Junji, just to go for the more consistent play option. Like, it's already a big flying threat. Next turn we go for the fight rigging, because we can play this and Fable. Yeah, opponent's got the combo. Question is, how much of their combo do they start going off right now with? because they kind of want to hold back a little bit for the extra counters from Showdown of the Skull. But it looks like the opponent's not going to care. They're just going to go in right now. And personally, I'm okay with that. Because we can block this. Oh, that's a good draw. So, land. Okay, I can do this and fight rigging. So let's fight rig first. There's the Tarrasque. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get the Unleash the Inferno here. Gives us enough excess damage to get rid of Showdown of the Scalds. Counters 1 and 1. Tarrasque. Fight, get rid of this. Punt's going to gain 5 life, but they scoop it up. Yeah, there we go. That's a great showing again of just how dangerous this combo is. Alright. This is not ideal. But we do have Mirror Breaker, so we can discard this. Play this as a land. So we actually can play most everything in hand. We'll keep. These Turntimbers are actually doing a great job in the deck because of the combo potential they have and the fact that they tap for mana. Alright, so black-red Ob deck again. There may be a possible white splash. Then again, there's also the possible green splash. There's like 3 iterations of the deck we're playing against. Land, Hortel. Alright, opponent's just going to dispute the blood token. Alright, so opponent plays that, attempts to hit a land off of it, hits a Deadly Dispute, which they can still play to get some draw value. Because they can sacrifice their treasure, get the draw. They wouldn't want to sacrifice Synthesizer, because whatever they get off of it would just not likely be able to be played. Alright, they decided to sacrifice the 1/1 token, which also is a very... I mean, not token, but 1/1 creature, because the treasure tokens are very useful to them. We're going to lead with Mirror Breaker. Now, there's a good chance that they just pry off our little 2/2 creature just because it gives us the treasures. And treasure denial is actually a, big thing to do. Yeah, see, there it goes. That means we have to hopefully draw land. Alright, so we're going to discard 2 cards. We'll discard here and here. My luck is at it again for the land draws. Now, granted, we have amazing cards against this deck. We have the Unleash the Inferno. We have Shadow's Verdict. We have Binding the Old Gods. These are all cards that are going to hurt our opponent a great deal. Because Shadow's Verdict actually gets rid of Ob Nixilis, because its creatures and planeswalkers mana value 3 or less. And since it's an exile, they won't get the Meathook Massacre triggers. Alright, Oni Cult. Opponent's going to burn off our 2/2 again. Come on, deck. Where's our land? We just need 1. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Gonna have to make some painful discards here. Discard here. Discard here. There's the lands. Alright. Play Binding. Get rid of Anvil. Anvil's one of the main build arounds for their deck, so always keeping Anvil off the board is going to be great for us. Opponent does get lucky and hits a land off that. Because anytime that they hit something that they can play off this, it is considered a lucky play for them. Alright, that's Voltage number... Surge number 2 or 3? Uh-oh. Game. Game has stopped. Alright, so it came back to our turn. Get ourselves a land. We'll grab Triome. Play Green Source. Just gonna pass it back. There's a decent possibility that the opponent has a card that will be able to deal with the Battle Mammoth, like another Meathook Massacre. So I'd rather see if Kiki Jiki survives, because if it does, we can at least get the value of swinging in for the 6 trample. I highly doubt... Oh, the opponent is going to get aggressive like this. Okay, that's actually to our advantage, because we left this mana open. So we're going to Unleash the Inferno, get rid of this land, and we'll also get rid of the Meathook Massacre. Alright. Land for the turn. Battle Mammoth. Pass the opponent. Actually decide not to use Battle Mammoth copy to swing in. I think we want the defensive play with it. Alright, yeah, opponent just meat hooks for 5. It is unfortunate. Alright, opponent at least loses 2 good cards for that. We'll rig some more fights. Go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 2 mana away from that. So we'll go ahead and grab, I think, the Battle Mammoth. Alright, opponent. Gonna see a repeat of what happened last time. Question is, do they have their sacrifice spell? They do not. Alright, unfortunately we just have to pass turn. I actually really love Unleash the Inferno. It's working out amazing. Like, so many decks it ends out being a 2-for-1. Alright, well, we managed to at least see the opponent with 1 card. Surprised the opponent hasn't managed to hit themselves an Ob yet. Well, we go for the Binding just to get rid of the 2/2, not only to preserve our life total, but make it so that way we can force the land for the Tarrasque. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there we go. There we go, Tarrasque. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, it's dangerous. The opponent almost has enough mana to meat hook and kill a Tarrasque. In fact, if it wasn't for Fight Rigging's 1 counter, they do have enough mana to do -10, -10. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they have almost enough mana to pay this Ward 10 here. That is nutty. Alright. Opponent is down to 3. If they kill Junji, we can make him discard 2, lose 2 life, put him down to 1. So... if they go with a big meat hook, it won't be enough because we kept growing Tarrasque. And we get there. Whew. Despite the game crashing on us, we get there. We'll keep this. Oh boy, it's this deck. Without the quick answers, we may have some trouble. Because they like using spell pierces. Alright, so they play a Ledger Shredder. This will give us an opportunity to bring this out. And if we can get this to be able to attack in, and we can use the treasure for binding. If binding resolves, we'll at least get guaranteed black sources then. Tarrasque unfortunately showing up the wrong time, but thankfully binding allows us to discard it for a redraw. Or did I call it binding? I mean say Mirror Breaker. And we'll discard a heavy as well. Not ideal. Let's attack first. See what the opponent does. Alright, they go for the double. We go for killing the Delver. Attempt to put Fight Rating on board. Probably see a counterspell happen. Yep, there's the negate. Another Ledger Shredder for the opponent. Attempt heavy. Alright. I figured they had a counterspell. I wasn't sure which one. But by going for heavy instead of Junji, means that we have the opportunity to now resolve Junji and have a huge blocker for them. But I think we still attempt binding first, just to poke cards out of the hand, since we only have one attempt at a double black spell. Get rid of Ledger Shredder. Land for the turn. No attacks. Alright, so they get another Essence Capture. That's unfortunate. That means we know that they have a creature counterspell. We're going to have to, unfortunately, go for a Shadow's Verdict more likely. Let's attempt a Strangle first. Probably should have gone for there. Fire it. I was trying to see if it would be the counterspell. If I had probably gone for the 3-2, they may have used the counterspell over going for Ledger Shredder. Yeah, there's Disruption. Go for the attack. Alright, let's get the Essence Capture out of hand. That way we have a chance to resolve Junji. Because if we just pass the turn without doing anything, there's less of a chance of us getting the ability to resolve a spell here. So if they have a bounce spell, if they have a phase out spell, we lose. So this is us just trying to do what we can. Alright, the pause was there because the opponent was thinking, do they take the damage or not? Alright, they reveal and negate. Luckily, we have the larger body on board. If they go for the double swing, we go down to 1. Alright, we'll sacrifice this Mirror Breaker to the negate. That way we can Strangle, get rid of the 4-3. I thought it was more important to try to make sure we got rid of the 4-3, because that way if they get any interaction of bounce or phasing, we don't instantly lose. Just keep poking in for the 2 here, because they can't give up their Aberration. Alright, we're back into a bit of a pinch. Attempt Binding. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still 2 mana away. In case they drew the bounce spell, I think we hold back. Now, they either have it or they don't, right? Like, they would have probably played it already if they had it. And since they didn't reveal anything, I know that's not a spell. Go for Battle Mammoth. Create a haste copy. Go for lethal. Give them the GGs. Because if they had a way to prevent this from hitting them, they would have done it by now, right? They have to have 2 creatures to block Junji. They don't have 2 creatures to block Junji. The trample damage from Battle Mammoth will still kill them. So yeah, okay, opponent realizes that they can't block, they scoop it up. That was a close game. There's no denying that, but we managed to get there. So this was Riveting Fight Club. This was actually a really powerful deck. We managed to score wins against a number of the top competing decks, and we actually did it pretty consistently. The only thing I might be worried about was how slow we kind of are against fast aggro decks like Mono White. And while we didn't come across Mono Red, I do think that the Mono Red, Red White rush decks would actually be hard for us as well. While we do have the early game Strangle options and Shadow's Verdicts, we kind of leaned very heavily on these in order to close out games against those deck types. So to maybe help you out in those matchups, you might want to go for some other early game threat options, and to maybe even also help you out in those, going with, instead of the Tarrasque, going for the Titan of Industry might actually also be a good thing for the deck. Now, Titan of Industry isn't going to be rotating anytime soon, so it's going to be a solid card for the deck. Because the ability to gain the life, get the Rhino, destroy an artifact enchantment, it does so much on the inter-battlefield. And it actually synergizes a little better with Junji because of the reanimation possibilities from the Midnight Sky hitting the graveyard. Because Tarrasque, if we reanimate this, it's just a 10-10 body. It doesn't have the ward 10, it won't have the haste. So that's why I think Titan of Industry, if you're looking for the more consistent deck play, for having some slight reanimation backup plan in the deck. Now, if we are talking about going for other early game cards, I would recommend maybe Valky the God of Lies for the deck. Now, this will help give us an early 2-drop. This will also be able to be played late game as a strong Planeswalker, but if you hit this on the fight rigging, we actually can play as Tybalt the Cosmic Imposter for free if we successfully get the combo to go off. So, very strong option to go to as well. Those are probably the cards I can best suggest to help make the deck run a little more consistently and a little faster. Maybe to make room for the Valkyries, if you want to try to include them, maybe go down like one Junji, one Binding of the Old Gods, because we do rely on the fact that we want these Battle Mammoths and the Shakedown Heavies with this deck build. But those are just some speculations. Overall, the deck still performed amazingly, and I would say it's strong enough that if you want to play competitively, it probably gets you a fair bit of games for a while. Now, if you're looking for a deck to craft right now, and you're missing a lot of like these cards from the Kaldheim sets and stuff like that, maybe hold off on those ones just because those cards are going to be rotating in the near future. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch, the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video, and have a nice one.